So it's race number 1B now, with Paul Bishop is in front with Sam Gendy, Chris Hart and Dan Connor, Alex Roberts with William Phillips. 7th is Liversedge, 8th is Smith. James Atherton in 9th with Yuri Horolik in 10th. Simon Woods and John Hughes 11th and 12th with Clive Powells 13th, and Paul Tucker in 14th place. Ian Prescott and Paul Yeomans, and 17th place for Richard Collins. And away we go, it's a national flag start, and it's an extremely wet Cadwell Park we have now as they try and go 3 wide down to the first corner. That's never going to go. There's contact, and spearing off go 2 cars in the main straight there. We didn't even get a chance to get to the first corner. We've got somebody into the barrier. Difficult to pick up a visual on that one, but disaster straight away here. 3 wide down the main straight, there's contact and 1 car lying against the side of the track at the Armco barrier. Not the way you want to start your day as we go on board with Tony Liversedge, and Tony now just tiptoeing out down through Park, or Charlie's in towards the Park, straight now and up the top of the hill we come. So very, very difficult, treacherous conditions for these guys to deal with, unlike the first race where we had rain towards the end of it as they all fan out for position further down the grid. Number 15 was Alex Roberts, and he was going up the inside of number 142. That wasn't Liversedge he was trying to pass here, was it? Tony was almost on the grass here actually. We've got Sam Smith, number 31, undercutting everybody as they go in towards the top of the gooseneck, and it looks like that move was going to work out pretty well for Sam Smith there. Yes, currently in 5th place in the pink car. And looking pretty racy in this race already for Sam Smith, but he's got off to a bit of an iffy start, shall we say. 3 wide, contact on the main straight. Remember, motorsport is a non-contact formula, and when the cars are getting together at the front of the pack, there's always going to be some sort of accident further down the field. William Phillips is going through shot as well there. All these guys struggling for grips. Liversedge is dropping back throughout this one. He's got a car alongside him as they come in towards the Hall Bends area. We've seen that not working in the first race. 2 abreast through there just does not work, and we saw that earlier on when it really did affect Tom Roach in quite a big way. So thankfully nobody coming to grief this time. Bit of debris on the inside of the track there, some leaves and other stuff on the circuit. The guys making their way down through Barn Corner for the first time of asking. Crossing the line, these guys just tippy-toeing their way around the circuit. It has to be said, not the nicest conditions at all. You can see a stream starting to form on the inside of the circuit as we get to Coppice, the fast left at the end of the main straight. Car number 22 just flashing through is Chris Hart. Chris got off to quite a good start actually. Let's hope he can keep that car, the black and blue car, up at the sharp end of the field. As we go back on board with Dan O'Connor, number 117. And his wing mirror looks like it's been folded in on the left hand side there, so that's going to compromise him if he has got to watch his mirror at all as we come up towards Park Corner. Just dancing about inside the brakes. O'Connor goes up the inside. It's a good move. There's no contact thankfully, but Hart says no, and it's not going to happen. Chris Hart just flat right says no, you're not coming up inside of me. Gives him just enough room, but doesn't give him too much room, which is how it should be in motorsport. Down the gooseneck and into Mansfield we come. Alex Roberts now ahead as well, and a few of these guys just experimenting with slightly different lines as they go through there, just trying to find a little bit more grip offline. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. The track drying as well in certain places, so that makes it very difficult as O'Connor pulls the gear lever back to go down the gear, a little bit of sideways. He goes up over the crest of the mountain. He has to move out because Hart was slow there. He's on the grass as O'Connor as they come along there. Sam Smith goes past both of them. What a manoeuvre by Sam Smith in the pink number 31 car. Where did he pull that one from? I will never know. He come over that mountain like he'd been fired out a cannon and gets past both Hart and O'Connor. By the time they get through the barn or the Hall Bends, O'Connor's a little bit wide again there. You can see the camera jerking on the rumble strips, jerking there a bit through Barn Corner now. And he'll be thinking, well, where did Sam Smith get that grip from in that little series of the track? Smith now in 2nd place as we cross the line to click off another lap. He's all over the back, and you would imagine would be because of beautiful 4-wheel drift from our leader as he comes through there. Sam Gendy's under all sorts of pressure now, and Sam's going to have to watch. Battle of the Sams at the front end here. Gendy against Smith. Gendy still has the upper hand as we come through Charlie's and head down the straight for this lap just now. So these weather conditions, it really has stopped raining outside now, so it's going to start drying. How long it takes to dry will be another thing though, as Gendy comes through Park Corner. Smith in hot pursuit. Then we have Hart and O'Connor. Alex Roberts in number 15 homing in also. As we come to the top of the gooseneck, a great little series of corners. Then back down towards Mansfield. You've got to watch because the car's going downhill anyway. It's very easy to lock the wheels there, but look at the grip on the outside from Smith there. That is just a bit of class wet weather driving, that really is. Going round the outside of somebody there, just using the extra grip on the outside of the tarmac. He's now positioned perfectly for the bottom of the mountain. He's going to get this position because he's now on the inside for the second part of it. Good move, Sam Smith, you deserve that. That was a brilliant piece of driving, really tactical, used your head well, and you're now in the lead of the race as it comes through the Hall Bend. So Gendy has now got a little bit of trouble behind him, and that comes in the shape of number 22 Chris Hart, who has in turn got Dan O'Connor, who has in turn got Alex. Oh, forget that just now. Up the inside, it looked like O'Connor was going to have that, and he has. He's got past Hart. So Chris Hart, unfortunately, lost a couple of positions. He's down to 4th now. As Dan O'Connor in the orange car comes through behind Sam Gendy. Sam Smith is just driving away at the front in this one. Absolutely got his head down and pulling away. Battle for second place. 3 cars locked together. Gendy, O'Connor and Hart. As we come through Coppice, the first corner. Really getting wired in, these guys now. Charlie's Bend. Oh, up the inside. Good move there. Number 17 car dives up the inside. That's William Phillips, and he really just stuck that car up the inside and gave big sideways on the exit of the corner there. O'Connor sees Gendy and armfuls of opposite lock. And is that going to let him capitalise at the end of the big straight at the top of the hill here in towards Park Corner? He's thinking about the inside. He's looking at the inside. Is he brave enough on the brakes here? Not the great deal of run off there, but yes, he goes up the inside. He's tried this already. Tried it with Chris Hart, and Chris Hart didn't give him the position. And it's just happened to him again there. So O'Connor looked like he had the better run onto the straight as we go on board through the gooseneck. Now, we haven't seen this yet. Braking on a corner in towards it, the car gets a little bit light and unloaded. O'Connor fishing for a gear on the way down there. Gendy looks a little bit wide on the way in, but it comes to nothing because it's okay. They come to the bottom of Mansfield, both cars in huge moments. Off goes Gendy. He's too busy watching Sam Gendy there, and Dan O'Connor does exactly the same. Now who's going to get the position as they come towards the mountain? Because look further back down, we've got Chris Hart. They're absolutely together as they come in now. Chris Hart, 22, wipes the nose of Phillips. You're not getting that position, my boy. But Dan O'Connor does manage to get through there. Just very lucky to keep that on the track. As they all come through the Hall Bends area now. Remember, we have got a leader in this race. We've just seen him fly through the shot. It's a spin. Unfortunate. We're just about to talk about Sam Smith leading the race. And Chris Hart drops it mid-Hall Bends. Cut across the grass. He'd done a Tom Roach across the grass as William Phillips now runs wide at Barn. It's all starting to kick off here. So either tyres on their way out or track is now starting to go through that horrible damp kind of series patchiness. Not when there's any grip around whatsoever. Just really horrible to race on. It doesn't give you much feeling. The only feeling you do have is when the thing doesn't want to stop or turn. So there goes your leader through. The lucky second place man Dan O'Connor, who almost found himself in the hedge with Sam Gendy at the bottom of Mansfield, and then William Phillips in the number 17 car. We saw Chris Hart drop it in front of him going through Hall Bend. So down through Park Straight, coming up to the top of Park. Nothing changing as yet. Wipers still on for Dan O'Connor, so there's obviously still a bit of moisture in the air at the far end of the circuit from where we're positioned right now. And through goes Gendy, watches his mirror, sees the yellow cross actually on the back of William Phillips' car. Yellow and black cross shows that William's a first-year driver, but look at that for a move as he tries to have a go up the inside in towards the gooseneck. That means he's in his first year of motorsport, that yellow cross, so he's effectively a novice. And he's mixing it right at the front of these guys who are driving, we'll say seasoned pros in the MX-5s. Yes, we will. A very hard-fought championship it is. And now we've got the incoming Alex Roberts in the blue car as well, so these guys better get a bit of a wriggle on, because here comes that blue number 15. As we can see the exhaust from William Phillips trailing on the ground, we can actually hear that as well as he goes up the inside of Gendy as it comes towards the Hall bends, but you can actually hear that chinking away in the background on the television. So a bit of a disaster here. There is a fair chance that is going to get deemed unsafe from the scrutineers and the race officials at the side of the track, and we might see as he runs extremely wide there, we might see the black flag with an orange dot for that number 17 car, because if that exhaust is hanging loose, it could be sparking. We can see it down the straight there, so officials will be having a very good long hard look at that. And let's see what happens to that car in the next couple of laps. There goes Roberts flashing through towards the first corner, through Coppice, then on towards the right-hander of Charlie's. Big sideways slide for Sam Gendy there. Manages to gather that all up. Going sideways is very good fun if you're a race driver or a driver, but unfortunately it is also time-consuming. If you're going sideways, you could have been going forward, and you could have been going that little bit faster if you weren't going sideways. However, in the wet conditions, it's sometimes a bit of an advantage to have a car that's a little bit loose, a little bit free, rather than having a car that's tight that doesn't let you get on the power, because it simply won't turn in a corner. As we're watching that Phillips car, the exhaust doesn't seem to be causing much in the way of a problem. It's just down to a safety issue, whether it's got sparks coming out the back of it. So we'll keep our eyes firmly on that as we get down the bottom of Mansfield. It gets a little bit closer. Phillips runs right up towards the back of Gendy. Now on towards, yes, there's some sparks now coming off that. There's definite sparks and smoke coming off that loose exhaust now. So let's see what happens this time as they come past the start-finish line. A little bit more rain spots on the camera lens there as we come through the mountain as well. Now it's been a while since we've seen number 31 Sam Smith, but he is still leading the race, I would like to say that. As the rain's starting to come down heavy now in the Hall Bend section of the track. Heavy rain there. As the wipers all come back on, you can see it's in the air as well. It's absolutely hanging in there. But Sam Smith leads from the orange car. We just see go through Dan O'Connor, number 117, in second place. Sam Gendy is third on our screen, with William Phillips fourth and Alex Roberts in fifth as we come over the start-finish line again. Thankfully for William Phillips, no flag reporting him. I'm telling him to report to the pits. He looks up the inside going in towards Coppice, but it's not to be. It's a brave place. You've got to basically be alongside the car that you want to pass going in there to make any sort of move, as Gendy has a huge moment going through Charlie's. He gets the car completely crossed up and sideways, and that's bound to hurt his momentum through the exit of Charlie's and down through the park straight, but it doesn't. It doesn't. He manages to keep a good speed down there, and Phillips cannot capitalise down Park straight and up to the top of Park. So, very strange. He looks up the inside on the brakes, but not to be. Gendy, who's extremely sideways, on towards the straight as Phillips spins. Phillips drops the car at the top of Park. Exhaust loose or no exhaust loose. Unfortunately, the car jumps from underneath him, and our first-year driver gets caught out. Unfortunately, that's dropped him right out the face of that big battle he was in there. Definitely looked like Roberts went past him. Possibly James Atherton sneaked through as well there, so a bit of a disaster for our intrepid warrior William Phillips in the white and red car there, number 17. But there's Alex Roberts on. Sam Gendy is trying to throw this away, isn't he? He's sideways at the bottom of Mansfield. That's Alex Roberts alongside him. He's squeezing Roberts, and that's a big place to squeeze him. Roberts just sneaks through on the inside at the bottom of the mountain. Can Gendy hang it out round the outside? No, he's not. He's not able to do it. He's now got to watch because he's got James Atherton all over him in the black number 6 car, and Alex Roberts gets ahead. Now that should have been Gendy's chance there. When William Phillips dropped the car off the road at Park, that should have been Gendy's chance just to have a bit of a sigh of relief as Alex Roberts gets completely broad sideways in the middle of the middle of the section of corners just after the mountains. The mountains, words fail me for a minute there. Through Hall Bends there, that was a little bit too sideways as Phillips again in the background. William Phillips is having one or two fairly large moments as there is the flag, and we can guarantee that will have number 17 on it, the other side, that white board that he's holding out there. The black and orange flag. William Phillips must come in and report to the pit lane The scrutineer marshals will have a look at that car next lap round, and he will know that exhaust is possibly hanging off and touching the ground. He'll have heard it and felt it knocking the underneath of the car. So great shame for him there. He's going to drop out of the position he's in and plummet down. He'll be lucky if he actually comes out in the top 10, to tell you the truth. But here comes Dan O'Connor, number 117 in the orange car, strutting his stuff at the top of the park straight in second place. Then Alex Roberts, Sam Gendy and James Atherton all coming through. Been quite a bit of action in this race, and things just needing to settle down that little bit for these guys. Gendy just doesn't have any rear grip in that number 74 white MX-5. Absolutely no grip on the back tyres. Anytime he turns that steering wheel, the thing goes sideways, and that is costing him time as we look at the black and gold number 6 car of James Atherton as he comes through Mansfield Corner and starts heading towards the mountain. For this time of asking, pick them up on the camera view. Still quite a lot of wipers going as we get Dan O'Connor. Now somewhere round the next series of bends is Sam Smith. Sam Smith has absolutely, don't want to use this word too often, destroyed the field in this race 1B. Absolutely checked out as Chris Hart comes through, the man who spun out of a very good third, fourth position earlier on through the Hall Bends area. But Sam Smith in the pink number 31 car, who got off to quite a quiet start, made a couple of good manoeuvres at the top of the gooseneck, and has absolutely disappeared. And we haven't seen him on the TV screen since he actually passed everybody going through the top of the mountain. So fair play to Sam. He's driving an absolutely stormer of a race, but he's not getting himself any TV time because he's away out in the middle of nowhere. 22 goes through Coppice. That is Chris Hart. As you can see, the car's just doing a little bit of a four-wheel drift as they come through there, dancing a merry little dance. They are. And then we've got car number 44 as he comes through. That's Paul Bishop. Paul was actually in pole position, so Paul Bishop will be ruining these weather conditions coming in, because he was an extremely quick man when it was dry at Cadwell Park yesterday. On the Saturdays, Roberts is sideways with side by side with Gendy. Gendy shows him no remorse. He's on the wrong side of the track. Unfortunately, the grass pulls him round, and oh, Alex Roberts, unlucky you are. He has a huge spin going towards the gooseneck. Atherton gets ahead of him. Gendy will be chuckling all the way down the hill to Mansfield, I can guarantee you. But well, you've got to say, Sam Gendy, if he does manage to hold on to a podium position, it's through a good old bit of skillful driving, because, as I said earlier on, there doesn't appear to be any grip in the back end of that number 74 MX-5 whatsoever. Absolutely zero grip, and James Atherton is now homing in very, very quickly indeed. Quick shout out to the fastest lap of the race, Sam Smith, driver number 31. A 2-minute 2.8 on the timing sheet, 2-minute 2.8, so you compare that with the first race. Obviously wet conditions as Atherton has a little bit of a look up the inside there as they complete the Hall Bends. Fastest lap for Blake Baldwin, a 46.6 in the first race. So track conditions obviously a little bit of worse for wear, shall we say, in the second race. But it shall be interesting. Right on cue, Sam Smith, number 31, pink car, leader of the race, down through Charlie's and the Park Straight, heads up the big steep incline and towards Park Corner. And it's been a majestic performance. We can throw all the lovely words at him, all we like. Destroyed the field, majestic performance. What a performance it has been. He comes through and just finding his feet as he goes around, tippy-toeing all the way through this very, very treacherous conditions that we have here at Cadwell Park today. He goes through the top of the gooseneck. The wipers are still on in that number 31 car, and he brakes for Mansfield. He turns it in, and he has found and explored different parts of the track from anybody else, and has found some cracking grip. And here he comes along the bottom of the track towards the bottom of the mountain now. And as he turns into the mountain, still with his wipers on, over the left, cuts it back to go the right hand side and then up over the curb. Car bounces a bit over the curb. He goes over the crest of the mountain and in towards Hall Bends. We follow the leader through this tricky series of bends where one corner leads into another. A beautiful little four-wheel drift from Sam Smith as he goes flashing past our lovely camera point there. Nice view of them coming all the way through the Hall Bends and then on towards Barn Corner. You can see the inside of the track, shielded by the trees, is actually dry. Bone dry it is there. But never mind that. Through barn corner comes the leader with a lovely little drift off the corner. He sees the checker flag ahead of him, and Sam Smith takes a fantastic victory. A fantastic victory, commanding win there. Such is the gap, we can't even see Dan O'Connor in second place. As the camera now changes and picks up with him coming through barn corner. Number 117, Dan O'Connor, takes a well-deserved second place in that orange car. Crosses the line with a wave to the marshal, and we wait for the Gendy and Atherton battle. Who's going to have it? It's going to be Sam Gendy. He's going to hold on to it. And a great bit of driving. He's pulled away in the last couple of laps over James Atherton, who tried, oh, didn't he just try, to get that third position. So well done, Sam Gendy. But 21.6 seconds was the advantage at the end of that one for Sam Smith. 21.6 seconds. I think that must be an absolute record in Mazda MX-5 championship races. Such is the difference between first and second. He was almost in the next county. He takes the applause of the marshals on this, the cool down lap. And we wait to get a complete run through of all the results in just a minute. Sam Gendy waving there, happy with that third place. But here we go, Sam Smith wins the race from Dan O'Connor, and Sam Gendy takes the third step on the podium. Atherton, Roberts and Bishop are 4th, 5th and 6th. With Chris Hart, Paul Yeomans, Paul Tucker and Richard Collins comes from the back all the way up to 10th place in the end. Fastest lap of the race, Sam Smith with a 2:02. Well, what a cracking race that was, and there's plenty more to come.